Before I get started with what I want to show you, I want to take just a moment to again say thank you for each of you who've sent comments in. I have learned so much from the advice that you've given. And one that, find my phone, I received this from when I was getting ready to go to the mountains and I was cleaning the windshield and showing how rubbing alcohol really does such a great job of cleaning after I'd gotten through with the bug be gone. And I received this from Richard Green. He says, JB, be careful with alcohol on your windscreen, it can damage it. Try some Novus plastic cleaner. I think you'll like it. And it won't do any damage at all. Had to press the button. I do like the Meguiar's waterless wash and wax product. I hope y'all have a safe trip, and I wish I could be in the Smokies. Kick back and enjoy. Beautiful bike. Well, Richard, thank you for that comment, and I have bought the Novus one, and I'm going to show everybody what it does. The windshield's not terribly dirty today, but you can see, hopefully, right here, there's a bug. Try to move around a little bit, make sure you can see it. I think that shows it right there. So he's like scattered across here. So we're going to use the Novus one and see if we can do something to show you how to take it off of there. I'm kind of working around the camera, so bear with me. But Novus one plastic polish. And if you go to buy this was, and I'm trying to remember, maybe 20 something bucks. 8-ounce bottle. This is 64 ounces. 8-ounce bottle of it was $8 or $9. So think about it. It actually takes very little of the solution. Poked a couple holes in the foil on the top and just get it where I can feel dampness on the cloth, and then rub it. You may recall when I did the bug be gone how gently that I was able to work it. Same here. And with this, I'm going to work back and forth so you can see this. If you can see, it's damp. You can see little spots of damp. The bug's gone though. Hopefully you can see that. Won't swear to it. And then take your dry cloth and that baby's clean. Good product. And Richard, thank you so much for that. The comment was extremely helpful and I really like this. And again, for those that watched the video on getting ready to go on the trip, another thing that I had mentioned was the sheepskins that I had purchased, and I wasn't sure just how that was going to work. I got the big one that I put on the back for my wife, and then the little one up here. The reason for the little one is this takes up room, and I don't have that much room. And I'm not a tall guy, but there's not a lot of leg room, so I didn't want to give up that room. But these work great. The bottom down here had absolutely no sweat issues, and at the same time on my back, on the backrest here, absolutely had a little sweaty back going on. This one was large enough that I was able to roll it up like this so that it covered the bottom and covered the back, and at that point it totally knocked off all the sweat issues for my wife. So worked good. Sheepskin, I purchased these from Amazon. There's a company, I'm trying to remember, Alaska Sheepskins maybe. They're got a good looking product, it's pricier. These, I'm not real sure. They weren't that expensive though, and they worked very well. The other end of it that was very nice is after the bike had sat out in the sun for a while, it wasn't hot. So instead of sitting down on a burning hot seat, it was to be able to do this. I wasn't expecting things to work very well, but these really work well. They're worth the money. Now, to get to where I was going when I started this video, and that is a phone holder. And the phone holder for me it's what holds the camera in place, because I use my iPhone as the front camera, and I hadn't found anything that I really liked that I thought would do what I wanted in this. I had put a GoPro mount up here, but then there's my GoPro, and I wasn't ready to spend another 500 bucks for another GoPro. So that, even though yes it could do it, but then you got an audio issue that you're dealing with, unless you're working with the Bluetooth or you're working with another type of microphone. But that didn't work well for me. Then when I did the Smoky Mountain run, some of you may have noticed that I had this, and what I did was I just stuck it up in here and suction cupped it on, and that actually worked pretty well. But I've got gauges covered, and I didn't like that, and the thought of I'm working with a suction cup, and that concerned me. So what I would do is I took a piece of braided fishing line and I ran it through the case on my phone, so that if it came undone, that it would hopefully catch it. Two things there, and that first of all, didn't want to lose my phone, or maybe first of all, I didn't want to have that happen, be distracted, and then create an accident. So like I say, it worked well. It never came loose. It did great with that. And at the same time, the potential of something going wrong was it just seemed to always be there. So I'm taking off the braided string today, and we're gonna come with another way that what I've seen, I think I really like the looks of it. I ordered Tackform, if you can see that, and I think it's going to work well for my purposes here. So I'll show you what I've got. It actually came in, geez, 4 or 5 different boxes, and it's the material in it. It seems pretty darn solid. It says stainless, and it's not plastic, so I'll give it that. In deciding the placement, the first thing I did was I did put my GPS on, even though yes, I could run GPS over the phone if I get it mounted properly, but that's not really what my purpose was. So put my GPS on. This mounts into these bolts right here, and the reason I initially liked that, on a windshield mount there is so much reverberation that it just doesn't work at all. The mount down here actually worked quite well, and it was a very steady picture that it gave, and I'm expecting the same to be right here. So the first thing I did, I put the GPS on so that I could see what's going to be in the way. Then you put this thing together with, there's a flat piece down here, then this one is the extra long version, and it's got 2 pieces that move here. And it does have a keeper, I'll call it a keeper for lack of a better term, to where you can click, snap it over the edges of the phone as a security. It actually is in awfully snug. I'm absolutely certain though that, I will run with this on. And then this is with the case on, and there's still, it's plenty of room. And it seems to be a real good snug fit in it. So initially, I'm pleased with what I'm seeing here. Then, when I first laid this up here, I went, gosh, this isn't gonna work at all, because it don't fit. Well, here, there's a stainless steel extension piece that they put in. So when you pull that bolt out, then this will go there. Then there is the bolt that I don't have in front of me right now that goes through it and then holds this on. So what I did initially, just to kind of fit the thing, was I put that extension down and then I laid this on top of it to see how it was going to fit, and then I sat on the bike to see what the view of the gauges was going to be after I got through. For me, I like this setup the best, and we'll see how that works. The great thing about it, if I don't like it that way, I can change it. So now I'm going to remove the GPS, get it out of my way, and this is a 45 Torx wrench. I had seen others that had talked about how difficult it was to remove this. Just a while ago I just turned it a little bit to see if I needed to go get another wrench, and it wasn't that severe. I mean, there was a little snugness to it, but then it came loose. So I think this is going to just work right on out of here. From the things I've seen, it'll probably take a little bit to twist it out. All right, we're out. It is really quite warm out today, and it is extremely humid, and my camera said it didn't like it, and it was actually saying it was going to shut down. So we'll see if it'll hold up through this. So here's the bolt that we took out. Here's the bolt that we're putting in. So if you can see, there's quite a difference there. What you got, at least an inch longer. Then here's the extension piece that I was showing you earlier. So then that goes over the bolt and then down in the hole. For right now, I'm not going to put the Loctite in. I'm just not 100% sure on where I feel like I'm at with my placement here. And miraculously, it is the next day. As is normally the case, no matter what I do, that at some point I don't have everything that I need to complete a project, and such it was. At that, the T45 Torx, which is the biggest Torx wrench that I have, it's not large enough for the new bolt. So at that, I had to go buy a set of larger ones, and these are to fit a 3/8 inch socket. I'd wanted some of these before, so it's not a total, but at the same time it's like, oh, come on again. And if you take the part that you're wanting to install and put it on there before you do this, it works even better. So we'll undo this. Hopefully I have all the pieces in place correctly this time. So we'll take the spacer. I did take the washer off from there, and then we're using that washer up here, and then the important part that we actually put the phone holder in, and then we'll snug it up. And nothing's snug on here yet, so get things pointed the way I would normally have them. The key to what I'm trying to get to is I want to have it where I'll be able to video to be able to see me, and then at the same time I want to be able to see as much of the gauges as I can possibly see. With the way that you can move it around, it certainly gives a lot of options. I think I'm really going to like this a lot. The placement on it, it really works well, and from eye level I can see all my gauges. I like that a lot. And as far as to be able to get to the key, functions of the key, all very open. Still got the GPS with plenty of room to be able to work with it. Looks good. We'll road test it here. Here's a look before we run it down the road at the final on the install. It just looks like part of the bike. I like that a lot. It's going to be pretty firm there. These bands, I'm very comfortable. They hold the phone on. There's a good clamp here. Honestly, I think I'd be okay even without those bands on. And the other side. You can see where that extension piece is. That's what got it up to where it's able to be able to move. Otherwise, it just wasn't going to work at all. So, fit looks real good. We're going to see what it looks like going down the road. Here's what we look like running. Initially, I really like the placement of the phone. The only thing that I've found so far that I could even pick on is where I place the camera on my helmet, is it does hide the phone, but by the same token, I guess that's a good thing because that's dead space anyhow. This is a good road, but that camera is really being held still. I think that I'm going to be extremely pleased with this. All my gauges, very visible. That thing had been able to get in and out to the key, that's great. I did turn the handlebars left and right all the way. It doesn't get in the way. Don't think I could ask for much more. I decided I'd give it a try out on a road that I knew that was a little on the bumpy side, and of course they've come through and paved this road and made it better than it was. Still, there's enough bump here that it's holding that phone extremely stable. Those weren't huge bumps, but they got a little bounce in them, and the phone is just holding its own. This really does work so much better than the suction cup holder that I had, because the suction cup holder covered the tachometer and honestly much of the digital center of the dash. With being able to see wide open through here, that was a pretty good bump. You could tell something about. So even though the road's been paved, it didn't take all the bumps out, that's for sure. Pretty drive out through here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't know if this helps you or doesn't help you. As is always the case, please send me your comments. They have been extremely helpful to me, and I do appreciate them, and I appreciate your watching. Have a great day.